Hi, I'm Annette Pasternak, the Stop Skin Picking coach, and I'm here today with Carly. Welcome, Carly.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, Carly actually was my very first client 5 years ago. More than it was just a little over 5 years ago. And yeah, she was just such a pleasure to work with. And I'm so excited that we're still in touch and
Yes.
that she's here today. So, how are you doing? And actually, like, I'd love you to think back. I mean, you were, I think, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was 2012. Um, and do you remember what life was like for you? What you felt like you were going through? Or
Oh, yeah. Well, when I think back to being 19, I'm 23 now. And even before finding that little post on the SkinPick forum, I always just questioned myself, what's wrong with me? Why do I do this? I started reaching out on the internet and kind of Googling just anything I could find. One day I found the SkinPick forum, and it was nice just having other people to kind of chat with. And I was so young then, I didn't know anything about this world or that anyone else really was affected by this. So when I found the coaching, it was just such a blessing to me and just amazing. I mean, I still to this day try every single day to track my progress, and it's hard and it's challenging, but it allows me to still see, okay, you're doing well or you're not doing so well, or at least look back and see how far you've come.
Mhm.
I can recall that the very first log I did with Annette, in a 2 hour or a 2 week period, I picked 9 hours in that 2 weeks. Immediately after having a couple sessions, like the next 2 week session, I think it dropped to maybe 2 hours. And then just these last 2 weeks, I looked at my log that I had, and I picked for a total of 12 minutes in 2 weeks.
We discovered later it was 3 weeks.
And so for me, even though I still have the habit and still have the behavior, it really does not affect my life as significantly to any degree that it did when I was 19.
I'm so impressed that you still keep track. And that's, I mean, do you feel like that's helped you not let it get out of control again?
Oh, yes. Because even, I don't do the detailed tracking as much, but I'm always recording 1 minute, 3 minute,
Hmm.
10 minutes, because it just reminds me that, one, I have to take a minute to put it in my phone and
Hmm.
record it. I have an app now.
Hmm.
I think it's SkinPick is what it's
Hmm.
called. I think
Yep.
I might have gotten it from a reference from one of your emails.
Yeah.
But I log it in there, and it's kind of cool because that it does track, my minutes and where I'm picking and what parts of my body, and so I can really see. And like, for example, I know that when I get in my car, that is a trigger spot for
Hmm.
me. So I've put little sticky notes in my car over all the mirrors, and I have a Tangle toy in my car now, so that when I get in the car, I'm ready and I'm prepared. And none of these things would I have known without having you, Annette, and having you to remind me, like, okay, make little reminders, make sure you're keeping your hands busy, different things like that. Um, but yeah, the logging. Sometimes I have old planners and agendas, and you'll just see like tick marks every day, or zero, and I'll put like a big smiley face. But yeah, the logging, I have to say, has really kept me aware. My new thing too is I bought like a little calendar set from Target. It was like $1, and it shows me the full month on the page. And I just have a Sharpie, and I put it in my bathroom. And it's motivational for me. And at the end of my day, I want to circle that day and say, I did not pick my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I've done that since January, I think. And for the most part, it's been 6 days out of the week, sometimes 7 days, that I'm not even picking.
Mm.
And so that's been really successful for me. So always just monitoring and tracking, and maybe one day I won't have to log, but until I reach that point, I will continue to log my progress.
That's really smart.
I've had really wonderful periods, I guess, over the last 6 years where it was phenomenal, and I didn't even look at my skin. I didn't touch my skin. It was very much just like, oh, I have an itch, and then that's it. And then I have gone through more significant periods of stress and really, really difficult life traumas that I've had to deal with, in where I have seen my picking kind of hidden, kind of spike again. So I've seen what can happen, but I think overall I am very lucky that I found Annette to help me to develop the skills and know like what this is, and that I'm okay, and that I can conquer this and face it. It's been amazing for me to have had all of the help that I can get and all of the things that help me to overcome this challenge. And it's amazing that I can wake up in the morning, not worry about putting on any makeup. And also, maybe I do have a pimple or two on my face, but I used to feel like everyone was watching me. Everyone was staring at my pimples. But now I don't even think about it. It's not something that I focus on. So I've just learned that people really don't care. And if anyone does say something to me, I don't take it personal. It's not something that I need to be worried about, because I would say 99% of the people are not staring at you thinking, oh, she has a pimple. So it's lovely that I can feel confident about myself. And also, I have a lot of scars too. I have a lot of scars on my arms, especially from just all of the minutes of picking when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I used to feel really self-conscious about them, but now I've learned that, once again, it just doesn't matter, and people aren't looking. And so, even me, like, wearing this top, sometimes in the summertime, I would wear a long sleeve and go out, and people would ask me, why are you wearing a long sleeve? And it's just like, oh, I just want to, the constant lying, the constant, cat scratches, or, oh, I got marked up, or whatever the excuse might be. It's nice not to have to worry about making those excuses or just making them. So it's really wonderful. I pulled my little calendars that I had.
Oh.
So
the
cool. Circles are like the days that I went maybe less than 3 minutes picking. So maybe I popped a pimple, or I like scratched my arm, but I would still count that as success. Yeah. And the X's. And so I think it's backwards, but you can kind of see that like throughout the months I've been making progress. I have less X's.
Oh yeah.
This was a really good month for me.
Uh-huh.
And this was a messy month because I was trying to do something new. But then it shows at the bottom, 21 days, 12 minutes. So it was actually 21 days.
Oh, okay. So that's only 4 minutes a week.
Yeah. So it's good. And these are just something new. Like, I've been able to adapt techniques that I learned from Annette and make them my own too, and kind of just develop like new ways that are going to work for me. And I think always just keeping something fresh helps too, so that I don't fall back into old habits.
Right. Do you remember anything else from the program that was useful? Like, a lot of people find the breathing, most important, or is there anything like that you still use?
I do. I don't think I probably don't do the breathing techniques the right way per se, but I do try and practice a lot of deep breathing techniques, and just mental breaks too. Just taking a moment. If I'm feeling it, just taking a moment to close my eyes and sit down and just breathe. Another one that I will never ever forget is literally if I'm in the moment of about to pick, or maybe I am picking my skin, I have to physically say stop out loud in order to get myself to stop. Because if I keep thinking stop, just stop, it doesn't work. But if I say to myself, like if I look in the mirror and I say stop, 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, I will walk away.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just the saying it out loud rather than, it's like an action.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I did, for a long time too, I was using like the physical barriers, like covering my mirrors or creating, I had a lengthwise mirror that I would always use to get ready. And so I just made a little dowel at the bottom that I could flip over and flip back. Well, unfortunately now I live with someone and I can't exactly cover the mirrors. Not that they're not aware of what's happening with me, but it would be an inconvenience to them. But what I can do is put a little sticky note or, put reminders, and those are very helpful as well. I also have a timer in my bathroom now. I just went and bought a little kitchen timer. It's actually a cat, so it's really cute. I put it in my bathroom. Every time I go into the bathroom, I set the timer for what I'm doing. If I'm just using the restroom, I'll put 2 minutes. And when the buzzer goes off, it's going to keep going off, and I know that I have to leave. If I'm getting ready, it's a little bit different. Maybe I'll set 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But the most significant challenge, I think, is just when I'm going into the restroom for a couple minutes. So I really focus on setting that timer, and that has been helpful as well.
Well, thank you so much, Carly, for sharing. I'm sure everybody got a lot of good tips from you today, and it was just such a pleasure to have you as my very first person to experiment with, because there was like all these things I thought would, work for people and be helpful, but I didn't know until we tried.
Yeah. Well, I think, one thing I'll say is I've always appreciated the support and patience and kindness of you, Annette, and also the group community as well. I believe maybe it was 3 years ago we did a conference call with a couple clients.
Oh, yeah.
Over the phone, and we just kind of talked about what our challenges were and struggles, and always such a beautiful reminder that you're not alone and that other people are facing your struggles as well. And another really big thing that I have learned is that being completely transparent and honest with the people around you, it helps because they can learn how to support you. A lot of people don't know how, and for me, I've had to teach my family and friends and loved ones, okay, it really upsets me when you say this about it, but it would be encouraging and supporting if you could do X, Y, and Z instead. And so the people who do love me and support me, they have been able to also help me a lot and encourage me. And that is a true blessing in itself as well.
That's such a good point. People generally want to help, they're concerned about you, your loved ones. And so, if you do tell them how, that's just a great, great assistance to them and yourself. It's a good thing you're doing for yourself too. And and keeping it secret from them or trying to hide it from them or not talking to them about it, just really not helpful. In my experience working with people, the ones who try to hide it from the people that they're living with, it's just it's so stressful for them. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
I know that that it gets better, and there is a way, there is a way out. For a long time, I believed that I would just be facing these demons and them controlling me my entire life, but I know that that's not true now. And I also remember one of the best things I've ever read from Annette's book. What is the title? The one with the bird cage?
Skin Picking, the Freedom to Finally Stop.
That amazing book. She talks about being in the Grand Canyon and going on this really long hike and looking back and looking forward and saying like, oh, we have so far to go, but when you look back, you can really see how far you've come. And I think that I always think of that. I always just think about look back and see how far you've come, because it's true. And, you can grow that way.
Absolutely. Well, it's been such a thrill to talk to you again. And I thank you for all the value that you provided for my listeners or viewers or whatever. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much.
Did you enjoy this video? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Get the free kit in the picture and more resources at StopSkinPickingCoach.com.